MCW fans, welcome to another episode of MCW Backstage Pass. As you can see, it's December. Kim and I are all holly jolly, and with us today is Dak Draper. Welcome. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. Every day is a great day when you wake up and you're the Mile High Magnum.
But you missed the memo about the holiday getup. Although, we're not going to take anything away from that jacket. That jacket is...
Listen, every day is a holiday when you're dressed this nice, too.
Well, talk to us a little bit. So we know the Mile High Magnum. We know Dak Draper, that guy out there. But this one's a little behind the curtain. So not too long ago, we had a very pretty girl with a very pretty ring who happens to have quite the eye for you, sir. And of course, I'm talking about your fiance, Quinn. So tell us your version of the whole proposal, how it went, and we want details. We're girls. Oh. We like this.
Oh, I got details then. I love to tell a story.
Wait. The G-rated details. Okay, G-rated.
G for good? Okay. So Quinn is a very suspicious person as it is. Like, she's always kind of got like a little look on her face like she suspects you're up to something. And so I knew that it was going to be hard to like pull the wool over her eyes, so I had to throw up a smoke screen. So I disguised it as a beach trip. And so I got some of our friends to come with us. So we had some couples with us. We had one friend who I knew was going to get really drunk. And he was like my cover for everything. I could be like, oh, he's too drunk. We have to go to this place, because we had a few location changes. So we start out at the beach. She thinks it's just a nice beach day. Turns out across the bay, there's a place where we took the first picture we ever took together as a couple. And so I had given Amy Rose, Ring of Honor manager, most decorated manager in Ring of Honor history. Those are the kinds of people I hang out with. I had given her lines to say. So I would like feed her up a cue, and I forget what the cue was, but she was like, oh, you guys should go retake the picture over there so we can get like the picture 3 years later. And Quinn goes, no, we don't need to do that. We'd have to pay a toll to cross the bay. And so she tries to cancel her own engagement. And Amy's like, no, well, Will and I want to go. We want to take a picture there too. And so we get back on track that we're going to do it. And then we go on with our beach day a little longer. And she goes, you know what? We should just go eat. And I was like, oh, no, I made reservations at your favorite Irish bar. It's this Irish bar in Annapolis. And she's like, no, why would you make reservations at a bar? Let's just go to the bar now. Second time that day, she tried to cancel her own engagement again. Like, at this point, I'm tempted to just throw the ring out the window into the bay. And so then I say, our friend who will remain nameless, I say, well, we really got to get out of here because he's getting sunburned now and he's been drinking a little too much. And we got to get him in a car. So it'd be good to go take the picture. We can get the picture done, and then we'll go to the bar. So we get there, and it really set in as we're driving, and I see on my GPS there's 6 minutes until we get there. And I was thinking, what could go wrong in these 6 minutes? And I realized 5 minutes go down, and 4 minutes, and I haven't said anything since it said 6 minutes, and I don't stop talking to her all the time. She's my best friend, and so I'm just always kind of telling her stories and talking to her. And so she definitely thinks something's up then. So I just start saying nonsense to her, and I'm just like, so look at these houses. I wonder how much that house costs. Like, I don't care about how much houses cost. Like, I'll never own land. And but I definitely threw her off the scent. She just like was like, oh yeah, whatever. And it was like we got out of the car, and I didn't want anything to get messed up. And I just like walked to the spot where we were going to take the picture. And it was like everyone else with us knew except for her. So they like assembled to take the picture. And we got there, and we were like kissing for the picture because we were kissing in the picture. And I had like a little speech. I didn't have a speech planned, but I knew I was going to want to say some like nice, strong words. And when she came out for the first picture, she didn't live in Maryland yet. I had moved to Maryland from Kansas City where we met. And it was like, I'm trying to sell her on living in Maryland. So I took her to this beautiful spot for this beautiful picture and all this nice scenery on the Eastern Shore. And so I've got her like, and I was kind of like dipping her back for the kiss. And she's like kissing me because she thinks we're taking the picture. And I'm like, I'm trying to tell her, remember how like up in the air our lives were then? Everything was so crazy. And she still thinks we're taking the picture. So she's like kissing me as I'm saying this. And it was like, and I was like, well, like the last 3 years of like, we've grown so much, and our lives like went from that kind of crazy to a completely different kind of crazy, and then like spun her around and got on one knee, which is really funny when you look back because like I'm like still like the same height as her then on one knee. And I popped the ring out and said, Quinn McKay, will you marry me? And she jumped in the air and was like, yes, yes, yes. And I picked her up and spun her around, and it was wonderful. And then we went out to the bar that she wanted to go to in the first place, and she got her drinks, and we all lived happily ever after, at least until today.
Wow. Now that's a heck of a story. And you would think, I guess, when these proposals happen, they're supposed to be, you know, calm and you're making a great decision in your life. But it sounds like it was pretty hectic for you, you know, prior to popping the question. You were pretty nervous there.
It had to be. It had to be like we had to make it hectic. Like I probably made it a little too hectic with the amount of people that were in there, but it was great because it threw her off the scent. She knows me better than anybody knows me, and so I felt like if it was just us, if I'd been with her all day, like she would have sniffed it out. But if she's hanging out with Amy Rose at the beach, and then, you know, she's just like, she's going to getting snow cones and stuff. She had a lot of distractions that day. So I had to keep her mind busy because it's really hard to trick Quinn McKay. And so I used my surroundings very well.
Have you guys decided on a date yet?
We have not. She changes her mind a lot on what she wants to do. Sometimes we're going to have a small courthouse wedding. Sometimes we're going to get married at some hot springs on a mountain in Arkansas. I didn't even know that Arkansas has mountains or hot springs. So it kind of changes. Maybe we'll get married on a train. I don't know.
Still to come, right?
Still to come.
Still to come.
The possibilities are endless.
Now, do you find that the wrestling relationship brings you guys together, takes you guys apart? Like, you know, tonight, you guys are both in the same place. I would imagine a lot of times it's you're in this town, she's in that town. Does that help or hurt?
It can kind of do both. It just kind of depends on how things are going. I think we do a really good job of it. Like, the number one thing is trust. But I think we do a really good job with, like, for example, this week, I was in Boston on Thursday, was back last night. We're both on a show together, but then I fly to St. Louis tomorrow morning. So we're starting to spend more time. We're starting to have like more nights apart. And I think it's hard, but we've built such a life together that we have things that remind us of each other now, where it's like we have our pets. We have our dog, Dog Draper, and our cat, Cat Draper. And
Pretty sure that's not the dog's name. She says that the dog's name is Hafthor.
yeah, she's like a big World's Strongest Man fan, so like we'll nickname him Half Thor, but his government name on his little driver's license, it's Dog Draper.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So at the vet, they don't call out Hafthor, they call out Dog Draper.
She does most of the taking to the
So
vet.
he's Hafthor.
Yeah.
He's Hafthor at the vet then.
Maybe, who knows? All I know about the vet is that they always say that he's their favorite dog, and that makes sense. He's just like me. So.
What kind of
Maybe
dog?
he's just like her.
So he's an old English bulldog, and so he's like a bulldog, but he's going to be a little bit taller. So he's like me, like he's like kind of like wide and like big, but then he's taller too. So he's athletic. It's really funny because he's more athletic than a normal bulldog, but he doesn't look like he's capable of the things he does. So he'll like run around with like German shepherds and like labs and stuff, and like dogs that like run and jump and play. And it's kind of like when you see like a fat guy that's like really athletic and wants to like try and do like cartwheels and stuff. And then every once in a while, he just wipes out, and it's like blooper worthy. Also, I would like to teach him how to drive. I know I've said something about a driver's license.
A dog driving?
So I had a dream that I let him drive the car. These are the dreams I have. I had a dream that I let him drive the car, and that Quinn wouldn't find out. But the only reason that she found out was that I was shamed in the community Facebook group, in our neighborhood Facebook group. And I think that's a good way to peer into our relationship, in that, like, that's the dynamic we have. I'm the one who would let the dog drive the car, and she's the one who would find out in the neighborhood Facebook group.
Very interesting. Sounds like a fun household.
Oh, it is very fun.
Now, is she your biggest fan or biggest critic?
Biggest fan. She's my biggest fan for sure. She gets mad at me when I'm too much of a critic on myself.
And for you, are you her biggest fan or her biggest critic?
Oh, I'm her biggest fan. If I was her critic, I would have a tiny, angry woman just breathing angry, like fire at me all the time. She is too mighty. Even though she's small, she's mini but mighty, and she's too much to be a critic of hers. And I mean that in the best possible way. Like, if there's something that she could work on in wrestling or something like that, then yeah, I'll tell her. But for the most part, I'm a fan. Like, she's harder on herself than anybody could ever be. So, and I think we're both kind of that way. And so we really, really build each other up a lot.
And you guys were doing a lot with Ring of Honor. And of course, we know there's a lot of uncertainty there. Will they, won't they? It looks like maybe they won't. So with that, is that a rug pulled out from under you? Or is it like, you know what? It wasn't meant to be and we're going on to the next thing?
So it's funny, like we're both in two different parts of our careers where when that happened with Ring of Honor, that's the third time I've been through that in my career. I've had a steady income in wrestling and a contract in wrestling that's just gone away 3 times. And so I kind of like, I'm used to it. It's the nature of the beast. This is the first time for her. So I've been through like kind of where I've lost it all and then built back up. So you know it's going to get better. And so I have a lot more faith that it's going to get better. And I think she has that faith too, but she hasn't experienced it yet. She hasn't like been knocked down to the bottom, been knocked down and had to get back up, and at least in the wrestling standpoint. And so it's kind of cool where I see her going through things that I went through like 7 years ago when I lost my first wrestling job. And I think it's good that we both come from different places, because I can be like, okay, the sky isn't falling. But then she can also be like, hey, we have to have some urgency and do something, because it's just not going to work itself out like it does for you sometimes. And so it's a good little yin and yang.
So what's the next step for you guys? Do you have it planned out? Do you have an ultimate goal in mind ahead?
Well, I think the immediate next step would be we are going to Kansas City in 2 weeks for her 25th birthday. Now, this is an annual 25th birthday, so a few of these 25th birthdays have happened, but I have a very, very special celebration plan for her that involves some of her favorite things. And so that's my next step there. But then besides that, I think we really are trying to build ourselves up where we're not depending on whether it's promotions or companies or other people. Really trying to like build ourselves up as individuals and as characters and as stars, so that we can, because you only have yourself, and we have ourselves and each other. And so that's our focus right now, and just trying to be as good as we can be, is to be as entertaining as we can be, and to like put out the best product that we can. And everything seems to be going well right now, and we seem happy, and it's exciting.
Where can the fans find you in social media?
So my Twitter and my Instagram are at Mile High Magnum, all one word. I have a Facebook Dak Draper fan page, but I never update it, so don't even follow it, because you'll just be wasting your time. You'll be wasting a follow, and it probably has lower followers than the Instagram and Twitter. You know what? I don't have a Dak Draper Facebook page. At Mile High Magnum on Twitter and Instagram. I might have it. Ring of Honor might have made me get a TikTok too. I don't remember. I might have a TikTok with some videos from like 2 years ago, so check those out. But yeah, Twitter and Instagram is where it goes down.
So before we let you go, we're going to play a little game, 2 truths, 1 lie.
Okay.
All right, and we're going to see. I think right now we've been 1-1 with these. So we'll see who knows you better.
Oh, excellent.
All right, 2 truths, 1 lie. Dak Draper, here it comes.
2 truths and 1 lie. Oh, I guess I have to mix up the order of them, don't I?
Mm-hmm. You don't have to.
All right. Okay. Well, I was an Eagle Scout growing up. I wrestled in college. And at summer camp when I was 10 years old, I got my toenail ripped off, and they wouldn't let me call my parents, and so I had to go through this intense hiking summer camp with no toenail.
Okay. I'm going to give you a hint.
Okay.
Number 2 is true. So 1 or 3 is the lie.
That's
I'm
a
gonna
fact.
say the toenail is the lie.
I'll go with the toenail too.
It's just so easy. All right, what's the lie?
I don't even remember what I said for number 1.
Number
That
one,
was
you
the
were
lie.
Number 1, you were an Eagle Scout.
Oh no, I wasn't an Eagle. I was a Cub Scout for like 6 weeks, and then I was like, oh, this is boring, and I never came back.
So you got us, but see if you
Damn.
had just gone the opposite way.
I know. I thought about that after I said it, but
I totally thought I gave it away when I got like way too detailed about the toenail getting ripped off. I was like, oh, I'm terrible at this game.
Well, you said it. You like went right into
I
it.
was like, yeah, he's given us way too much about a toenail when he was 10. That is not
makes
true.
sense. Yeah. No, I still have a weird thing about my toenails. Like, I do not like my toenails specifically to be touched. Like, me clipping my toenails is like no one can be in the room because I'm scared I'm going to get bumped. It's like, it's not a good thing. Don't mess with Dak Draper's toenails, okay?
So we won't see your toenails on your Instagram.
For all you know, Dak Draper has had his toenails surgically removed. Toenails, no. Don't touch the toenails.
On that note,
I mean, where do you go from there?
Merry Christmas, and don't touch the toenails.
Words to live by from Dak Draper. Thank you for spending some time with us, and we hope you have a very Merry Christmas.
Hey, thank you guys so much, and have a very Merry Christmas too.
Merry Christmas.